fewer snaps than he's used to getting, like 21 fewer than his average this season. Obviously, C.J. Anderson, part of the reason for that with his 37 snaps and 16 carries, 17 touches. Is that the only reason, though, Reg? What are you seeing? What's going on with Todd Gurley?
I think Todd Gurley is fine. If one game defined us as players, then none of us would be successful. Todd Gurley, he struggled in that last game, but I remember my game against in the NFC Championship when we played against the Minnesota Vikings. I had 7 carries for 8 yards. The game before that, I played really well. And sometimes the other team just has your number, and when you get into the playoffs, and especially when you're playing a team for the second time in the season, sometimes they just have your number. So to me, nothing is wrong with Todd Gurley. He is still one of the best running backs that this league has to offer. And I look for him to have a bounce-back game in the Super Bowl. Okay,
but considering he is one of the best running backs that this league has to offer, is 5 touches too short a leash?
I think 5 touches is too short. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm still going to rely on him. I'm still going to trust in him because the one thing that players have going for them more than anything else is their level of confidence. And who is more confident than Todd Gurley right now in the backfield? He's played great all season long. You can't expect him to have 100-plus yards every time he plays a football game. So he's going to have these up and down games, especially, like I said, in the NFC Championship game, the margin for error is significantly less than it is in a regular season.
Well, you say you think he is healthy. Sean McVay insists that he is. It says it's up to him to get him more opportunities, so we'll see if he does that next Sunday. What else do you think the Rams need to address from Sunday in order to have success against the Patriots?
Well, one area they have to address is the secondary. I still saw holes in that secondary. When you're playing against the New England Patriots, they make you defend the whole football field. And if you look at this play right here, to me, this is a play that the safety should have made. Joyner should have made a play on this football. He's seen it coming the whole way, and still Ted Ginn is able to jump in front of him and make the big catch. So that's one area of weakness that they have to quickly get better at because the Patriots, like I said, they make you defend the whole football field. If you try to say, well, we're going to take away Edelman in this game, okay, then Gronk could go off. Or it could be Cordell Patterson or James White against linebackers, which we saw Alvin Kamara have a huge day against these linebackers.
Yeah, Kamara with 11 catches on Sunday, 9 of them on a linebacker. You look at the stat sheet, it was the only guy that really hurt him. 111 scrimmage yards, 96 through the air, and we all know what James White can do.
Scrambling away from the pocket. He's tripped up and he's dropped back at the 37-yard line.
No field goal. Man, what a job by the defense there. It's a good way to swallow him up inside. They can't let them get that thing going right there.
Mahomes drops back with a pump. Chased by Van Noy. The ball's loose. And Mahomes is going to cover up on it at the 26-yard line. Kyle Van Noy is having himself a night.
New England dominating.
Dropping back. Pressure up the middle by Van Noy. Wraps up the quarterback and spins him down. A sack at the 8-yard line.
Well, the Patriots defense sending their team to the 11th Super Bowl in franchise history. Crazy stats from first half to second half. First half against one of the most lethal offenses in football, they shut out Pat Mahomes in Kansas City. Second half, Mahomes hung 31 points on him. They only punted twice in the second half, but it was enough to get the job done, and New England's going to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. We got Reggie right here, and for the sake of this chat, let's focus on this Patriots defense, and let's also bring in NFL Media's Mike Garafolo for this chat. Question for both of you guys. We'll start with Wheezy here. What impressed you most about the Patriots defense and the way they took the likely MVP, Patrick Mahomes?
I'll tell you what I was impressed about. That Bill Belichick is still running the same type defenses when I play, and it's still effective. Right?
Okay.
We knew going into this game that they couldn't let Tyreek Hill beat him over top. So what Bill Belichick always does, he always double the main receiver. So as you see right here, Tyreek Hill's at the top. There's your 2 secondary players. And they always put their best corner on your number 2 receiver. Now you have Stephon Gilmore on Sammy Watkins. Here you have Tyreek Hill being doubled by the defensive backs, and Sammy Watkins getting jammed by the
jam by Gilmore.
Defensive back Stephon Gilmore. As you see, there was no area for Pat Mahomes to throw the ball. Right here again, you might think this is the same play, but it actually is not. Tyreek Hill at the top being doubled. Stephon Gilmore is on Sammy Watkins, the number 2 receiver. Here he is, come off the ball. Doubled at the top, singled by Stephon Gilmore. And by the time Sammy Watkins gets open, there is pressure on Pat Mahomes before he can deliver the ball. So Bill Belichick says, I'm going to double your best guy. I'm going to force your number 2 to make all the plays against our number one corner, and you're going to see if he can get that done.
Mike G, jump in here on this.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw that we talked about on Good Morning Football Weekend, the morning of the game, because I mentioned that the people in Kansas City were expecting this, and they got it. It was hands from defensive players on Tyreek Hill, not in those two plays that Reggie showed. They didn't do every single play, but on Hill and also on Travis Kelce. They got on those guys at the line of scrimmage early in the game, making it clear, hey, you're going to have to work to get off the line, work to get open. And why not make them work? I mean, it's cold out. Let's get those muscles moving. Let's make you have to earn those first couple of yards of your route. I mean, they were up in their face to disrupt that timing, and I really do believe that early in the game, it was a huge reason why the Chiefs were out of rhythm, at least a little bit offensively. Then they figured out some stuff, how to get some clean releases, and started to click after that. But Bill Belichick made it clear that that was a point of emphasis early in the game. They did a great job.
All right, fellas, as we speak, Sean McVay is watching video on the New England Patriots. He's probably memorizing every play that the Patriots had this year. And he's looking for weaknesses against New England. Offense, defense, or special teams. Where would you tell him to look for weaknesses in the Patriots?
If I'm telling McVay to look for a weakness, right, I'm going to say, you know what, Sean McVay? I'm going to pray.
I thought you had something really profound. You were loading up or something right there. Come on, man. It's a close game.
If you're going to do something, you're going to get to Tom Brady. I think that's the kryptonite.
That's what people say, the interior push.
To all quarterbacks, especially Tom Brady. You got to find a way to get him off his mark. You can't have him sit up there and go to the first read and get rid of the ball fast. You got to get him to second guess and see ghosts. That's the one thing about Brady that we saw when he struggled this year. He was seeing ghosts. Guys were getting after him. So some kind of way, Aaron Donald, McDermott, Sue, Fowler, those guys have got to put pressure on Tom Brady.
Well, you think if there's two defensive tackles who could do it up the middle in between the guards, it's those two guys.
Absolutely.
Mike, a thought on that?
I'm afraid to say something here. I'm going to wind up on the Patriots social media post or maybe Julian Edelman or whatever. But speaking of Edelman, I'm not saying this is a weakness, but I think it's a strength for the Rams. Nickel Roby-Coleman, I mean, he was involved in that pass interference play on Sunday that should have been called. But outside of that, he is a really good player. He's played really well this year. I think it's a really good matchup for the Rams against Edelman. He's going to have to work to get open.
I'll tell you one thing where they are not weak. That is in the mental toughness department. Let's keep in mind, the Patriots were the Super Bowl loser last year. Traditionally, that is like a 2 or 3 year prohibition against making it back to the Super Bowl. Patriots make it back the very next year. We haven't seen a team that lost the Super Bowl make it back to the Super Bowl in the next year in 26 years. Wow. And this New England Patriots bunch did it. Mike, thank you. Check you back in just a